Hello. Hello, everybody. Sakakura. I'm back. I'm back. Had a busy day today. I think today it's Friday for all of you 9 to 5ers, 5 to 9ers, whichever you are. Happy end of the week. Unless you're one of those people that works, not Monday to Friday, like me. Anyway, figured I'd hop back on here and do dev stream number 4, which should consist mostly of coding. We have finally gotten the research out of the way, kind of figured out what libraries we needed. We have organized the program structure here in a manner that is acceptable for now. And as time goes on, we will do more. Okay. And we left off yesterday and we created a class, and I just gave it a placeholder name. And I'm not sure if I'm going to need it to be initialized just yet. And the reason why is because there's nothing that these individual functions kind of share as far as like they're the same. You know what I'm saying? And we got this done up and we tested it out to make sure that it worked. So basically what we're doing here is we're setting an empty dictionary, and we got us a list of keys that we want it to iterate through. And then we set another list for the numeric values. Now, as of present, I don't know a better way to do this because, again, I'm new. So we're just going to stick with this. Then we iterate over all of these keys. And while we're doing that, we ask the user to input the value for each one of these keys. And then we have a try except block here. And within that statement, or within that try except block, we have if that field belongs in this numeric field here, then we want the user input to be converted to the data type float. Elsewise, we leave it the same. And then this moves on to the next one if it's successful. And if the user inputs something other than a number, either an int or a float, doesn't really matter because, float will do both, or a float will convert it to a float. Then we print them this statement and say, hey, please enter a numeric value for this key. So we got all that done up, and we checked it using this. So I printed it to the terminal to ensure that all of the fields were correct, all of the keys and the values were there. And then I put this section in here to make sure that that it printed the key and value pair, and that the type, and it also gave us the type for the value. And I then copied and pasted this into our proving ground.py. It just says proving. And this is going to be the function blank that we put, because we're going to need multiple of these functions within this class that are going to do all the different things. And that's why we spent those first couple dev streams yapping and talking and going over everything. And off stream, I did a lot of this cleaning up. And so we're going to go and we're going to create these functions and put in this information. Some of the information that's on here is not going to be present in the function itself, but it's just, it will be elsewhere in the program when I end up getting a user interface. Now, I don't know how long that's going to take. I always get on here and when I go, oh yeah, that'll only take us a couple hours or whatever like that. And then it ends up, you know, or I only say it takes us an hour and then ends up taking us like the whole stream, which I said, you know, do like 3 hours of a stream. And hopefully we can start getting to the third section here, which is similar to this, but it's going to be its own class where we're going to take in all this information and then we're going to figure out how to do that. And we're going to do a separate set of calculations for this. I don't know if it's going to be one function or multiple or what the deal is. But this is all under the same sort of section here. And then we'll get into matplotlib. And then we'll get into the really complicated stuff using our ballistics calculator portion of the app. And working with that library that we found on, I think, the second or third stream. I can't remember. No, the second one. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. That's what we're about. I hope you're here, having fun, enjoying the ride. Feel free to make fun of my code all you like. Tell me what a noob I am. That's fine with me. I don't mind one bit. I don't mind one bit. So, next, we are going to do this function for the round. So I'm going to come on over here to our, we don't want to click on stuff we don't need. Hold on. I actually want to mess with it. I really like this theme, in case if you like this theme. It's that way so I can see what it looks like on screen. I really like this theme. If you like this theme too, and we're going to move this to a new window so we can take a look at it. Get this guy pulled back up. So I just want to see oh, aren't you showing the thing to change this stuff, bro? It's got to be in the same thing. I guess we got to do that. Okay. Bearded theme. It's over to the side. So if you like the terminal, the IDE colors that we got, then you download this bearded themes thing and you set the color, and I do vivid black. So that's the one that I'm using right now. But I want to see, I don't want another color theme specifically, but what I'm looking for is something. I don't remember finding anything in here that was particularly like where all of this is so different. You know, this all looks kind of the same, and it gets difficult for me being a new dude to kind of sift through it with my eyes, you know. So, see what I mean? So everything's kind of got its thing. I'm not particularly fond of some of the colors that are in here, like the yellows and the reds. That's kind of eh. I wish that it was a little bit more different, if that makes sense. So I've been through all of these things before, and I'm trying to find. There was one that I have on here. I can't remember. It was on a system that I used to have. I ended up having to override it because I did things that made my computer act in ways that it should not have acted. And I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of these bearded themes. And I really, really liked it. It looked good. Like, see, that hurts my eyes for some reason. Why wasn't this? I'm not into the purple stuff. I like the color purple. Pretty cool, but that's very, very similar. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and we'll just, eh. For those of you, I'm going to go ahead and saw something else. You don't want to do the milkshake ones unless you want to get your eyes melted out of your skull. Okay? Just fair warning for you all. Unless you're one of those absolute degenerates that likes light colored themes. Anyway, I really wish that you could get, if you guys are on Linux, let me pull you up. Is it GOGH Linux terminal themes? I have this on my hack box, and I changed the themes with the different backgrounds that I have, and it's really cool. Really cool. They got a buttload of them, all kinds of different colors. This one's pretty cool. Dune. I'll show you which one I have on my stuff. I just scroll through this for you so you can see. They have all kinds of ones. A lot of these bass two tones are really good too. If I can, I'll probably watch a video at some point and make my own custom, uh, yeah, what's that for? VS Code theme. That would be cool. So, URSTS. I have synthwave, and it looks, it doesn't look like this. It's like it's got this writing on it, that kind of light color, and it's got this background here. I don't see any of the other colors except for some of them on the file system, but it looks all cyberpunky, and I have it on like a space, kind of Space Invaders background. I don't even know if I could show it or not. I just got a bunch of backgrounds off of the internet, as I'm sure most of you guys do too. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. I think that stuff's cool. I'm not a terminal ricer or nothing, but I do enjoy having colors on my stuff. I'm gonna open a new window. I accidentally closed that. This is my AI box. So I can't stream and run the AI at the same time because it would use up too much resources on my computer. That's more of an opinion than fact. I don't want to try it. When I'm off stream, I have my own local AIs that I run. But for now, we'll just ask the Google and it'll tell us everything we want to know. Beat it into submission. Okay. So we are going to copy, Control C. And I was planning on getting in here today. I was planning on being here earlier today, but I was waiting on my keyboard to get in. As you don't know, I was using a Logitech keyboard, and that thing is absolutely atrocious to type on. It hurts so bad. Hurts my hands. I finally got it in, and of course, I had to change the, what do you call those? The switches on them. Is the ones that it came with were they were just too much. So we're gonna call this, we call it round. Okay. And everywhere where it says section, change it to the corresponding name. Okay. Actually, see, I don't even know if that's what I want to call it. So we have the platform. I think that is probably fine to call it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll call it round. We'll call it rounds. Leave this numeric field section, and we want to refer to this dictionary. Okay. And that should be good for field in rounds required field. Very nice. So I got those new switches in, and it changed it from like a thocky kind of clicky loud noise, which was just above like MX Cherry Reds, or sorry, Cherry Reds, the silent linears. A little bit louder than that, like the next step up. And I changed it to quieter than the Cherry Reds, which I got Akko. They're called Silent Penguins. I can't see the box from here, but I think they're called Silent Penguins, and um, they're very nice. They're a little bit more difficult to press than a standard linear, but so far so good. It's not hurting my hands. I did a test type of just a bunch of stream of consciousness or whatever. So, yeah, okay. Okay. So we're gonna go required fields. Enter this. And most of these are going to be in the numeric fields section. See, G1, G7. Wait, we're going to go position. Say lot number. And oh, hold on. Go number. Be a little bit more professional, not so modern or whatever. So that gives us, we have diameter, BC, or sorry, length, BC, weight, profile, composition, brand, lot number, and we'll do and I could already foresee a problem down the road where it's like, well, what if I want to enter each of the lot numbers that I have? This is going to be a stored sort of thing too. So diameter, length, BC, weight, and is all going to be numeric. And lot number is not always numeric, so we'll leave it as a string. And count remaining will be 1, 2, or will be 1 also. So save that, make sure we got it all good. And so we set this empty dictionary rounds. We have rounds required fields. These are the keys that we want it to iterate through. Okay. We want the diameter, the length, the BC, the weight, and the profile, the composition, the brand, the lot number, and the count remaining. Of those, these must be numbers. Diameter, length, BC, G1 or G7, weight, count remaining. And like what I'm not putting in right now, if you're watching and you're like, oh my gosh, why aren't you putting, more like this, right? Or putting it in parentheses and then saying, like, specifying. First of all, I don't want it to be an insanely long thing. But also, they're going to be, whether these are, some of these can be drop down menus like this. This can be a drop down menu, right? And select it for the person. Or they can just type it in. They'll probably end up, I'll probably end up getting it to where it's a drop down menu. And it will be G1 true, G7 false, or whatever. And but on certain things like composition, right? Somebody might not know, like, well, what do you mean composition? Well, when this pops up in the user interface, there'll be like a little one of those information thingies that you can click on, like a little icon. This, and it will say, it will, give guidance to people. So kind of like how I have here. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Every time I click up here and move the thing, it makes my stuff go down to 4. Anyway, so you can see up here where I have like round nose, hollow point bow tail, etc. You know, and then also people will be able to select their desired measurements as well to make sure that nothing's happening that doesn't need to be happening. Anyway, so we got that, and I want to test it now. But we're gonna, what I should do this. Just do stir up bar, put that in there. Oh, that's why. Delete. Yeah. Still getting used to this keyboard. It does have different keys than what I'm used to. Hopefully, here and Control C. And I just realized that this does not need to be. So, diameter. Length. BC. Weight. Lot number. I'm doing it. I'm checking off on my list so I make sure I got everything. And just like before, I'm sure there will be something else that I end up adding, just like up there on the other one. Composition, yeah. And then, so we can move on to the next one to after we're done testing. All right, so go there. Save. Control C. And we have to have it. Clear the def. Okay. And the section will be rounds. And let's give her a try. Okay. Run my app. No. What's the matter with you? I don't know what any of that is. have it in the right one? I don't think I do. Save it now. Now we'll see if it runs. Probably just had it in the wrong spot. Rounds is not defined. Oh, I did need it in this one. Oh, you know, it'd be helpful if I just look. Have it the last time. I have it there. I have this one here. Z. Z. Let's see. Why aren't you going? Fine. We do this. And we will go through this. What's your problem, bro? I know why this one wouldn't run, because it's inside of a class. You gotta call the class. Right? Ah, the thing, like, what the hell's going on that between, like we had this going, Is it just taking a minute? I'm being an impatient dickhead. What's going on? Type here. Type. Oh, let me put some background. This one. I lowered the music just a little bit. And excuse me. I do that a lot. I'm real sorry. I think that's because we did this before. Control C. We'll get there. Oh, there you go. See. Okay, I know why that's doing that now. Uh, so the reason why it was doing that, at least I know why it's doing that, is that this for loop has to be outside. Because I want it to print all of this when it's done. And we'll try that again. Need to unfuck this bug. There we go. We got it. Tier length to G1. Wait. 1,000,000. Uh, outstanding. So that needs to be in conjunction. That's correct. This is there, so it's on the same line, just like this is on the same line. And we need it to be, we need one of those for each one because we're checking this as we go. And we're going to go weapons black. same level as section for key value and so what the problem is here is not defined. What do you mean it's not defined? It's right here. Oh, that's why. Let's go ahead and recopy this here. Now that we have that, we're going to make that go in. We are in the correct spot. But instead of weapons plat, we're going to go rounds. Why? Four. It needs to be level. Yeah, that's why. And this needs to be back here. Well, that solved the problem. Almost. Okay. So we'll see if that works. We'll see if it works, man. Def. What's the next section? Powder. Nope. Where'd you type? Okay. Save it for meow. That way we have placeholder. Let's see if we can run this now. I think that it's not going to work because we have to call the class. Should we just do right? Or we might have to put print. Right? Damn it. Okay, so we need to go. Okay, all right. That's why I'm doing stupid stuff. So we're gonna either have to do testing class equals go testing class dot buckets platform, and then what do we call that? Round. How will that do us? We might have to print that. Print those. But one was given. Do I just need to put self in here? Well, I sure do. I'm figuring it out, brother. I tell you what. What do you mean? What that first one to do? So it saved us all this. It printed us our keys and our values. Keys and the values that we did. And then it gave us the type. The floats are floats. Okay. So has no attribute round. I call it rounds. Already getting confused with the names. What do you mean it has no attribute? Self is not accessed. Why? Self accessed. That's why self is not accessed. Boom. 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 Pardon me while I boom. Wish I had some of the effects like the cool kids. Okay. Now can we run the thing? No. We have to still excuse me. Many tabs. Many such cases. Where were you at when I put you in there? You were even with the list. Dictionary. List and dictionary. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I think that'll do me. If I can manage to do this. Okay. So this instates class use. That's what it's called. Then call its methods. I and as I'm going through here and I'm doing all this nonsense, I am saving these questions that I ask. So that way if I ever have to go back, ask these questions of another AI or something, I'll have that information. Oh, you can use in unit tests. I'm not a real developer. You can take that shit and shove it up your fang. I ain't got I ain't doing that. Ain't nobody got time for that nonsense. All right, this time we're gonna do it again. Cross your fingers, your toes, dot the I's, cross the T's. Ah, okay, it worked. Oh, I read that wrong. What's that stupid? Okay, so printed us our stuff and gave us our thing. All right, so we're gonna enter the diameter. Here you go. Yeah, length 1.233. G7. Why must I enter a numeric value for G7? Oh, 0.284. That's actually true. Enter your weight. I'll go 165, 75. Profile, alloy point. BT. Composition, mono. Yeah. Brand. What's that brand called? I can't remember the ones that do that. I gotta find them out because they make good stuff. We'll just say lot number, count remaining. So we'll say we have 500. Okay, so it gives us all that. It ran us through the thing. We done did it. It made sense. It did what we were supposed to do. The only thing that threw me off was the round where I had this, and I am correct. It is, even though I took that out of somewhere, that is correct. We don't need this tester. Delete you. Yes. We have that proving ground. We don't need the other stuff. So the, when I deleted that, I was thinking to select that. I was thinking about the GUI. Wasn't thinking like this is a number. So this is a number that needs to be put into a calculator later. That's why it has to be a float, and it's a decimal uh, point number. So it has to be. Oh, it has to be. So we have that is good. Now we need to do the same thing again. This time, and we're just going to go here. Control C. That's all we need. We have the next guy. Control V. Cool. And we need to make this refer to itself so we don't get that error that we got last time. And then we're going to say all right. I like this song. I keep hearing it. Where are you at, bud? 2519 in my playlist. Hold on, I gotta look this up. This song slaps, man. Thank you, Mr. Whitebat. That's good stuff. Desktop. Stream video files. Where's my notes? I bet that's one of those. Very nice. Going up here to powder. And we will there probably needs to be a lot more for the required fields. So powder, self, section required fields. We are going to start with the important part, and that is which just coincidentally so happens to be the only thing that we are going to need here. That's the only thing that I can think of that actually needs to have. Okay, and we're going to change this to that ought to be good. We have the little check down here, which can be dealt with. And now that we know that this works, we're going to go ahead and actually, we don't need to do that. We just will have to, instead of commenting that out, this, and back up to here to finish out our stuff. So we're going to go and what do they call that model? The type. I want that to be type. Let me Oh, it is called types. So, and it, okay, so I did have it right. It's, so this is going to be kind. And this is going to be like, this is type. I can quit typoing. charge weight. Got the kind of it. Got the brand. Got the type. We'll do lot number. And then again, we don't have a user notes section. And I think the next one we don't even need. We won't even need this check because they will all be okay. So we have that outer. And I'm changing it because I don't want it to have the same name. So that way when I'm referencing this dictionary, I'm not trying to mess with the function so it doesn't get jumbled. I'm probably wrong for that. I don't know. I don't care. I just want it to work. Okay. This. Okay. Let's run it. Why not? Spelled the same. Is something off in the thing? Yeah, something's way off in that. It's because I don't do the right thing. It's like I must. I must. There's no way. There's nothing that I can do except copy and paste wrongly every frick. You know what I mean? It's what we're about, man. I tell you. Of course. Because where would we be if we didn't do it properly? Because how are we going to instantate the class and then call its method if the thing wasn't even under the proper field? Enter your charge weight 45.8. It's shtick. Ah, brand. What do you call it? What did I say? No. I'll go. Just a placeholder. Okay. So I see some things. Hold on. Hello, Mister. Yeah. Bye bye, sir. Come in here with your nonsense. We'll make you famous. That's what we'll do. I don't care. Hold on. generally would not appreciate having to do that. However, what choice do I have? Come all up in my stuff. Doing nonsense. You know what? You make you famous. See to yourself. Okay, kind. 4060. You don't save that. So we have that one. We're gonna go bam, bam. Tab over. We're gonna go def, ph, self. I could not hit the wrong button. That'd probably help me out a million gajillion. So again, let's try this again. Control C. Control V. Did you? So you're under the right thing, but none of this is. Why don't we try to get it right? Right off. Huh? What say us? Says I. Let's come over here, and we need us. We're gonna save it. And we're moving on to the next section, which each one of these seems to get shorter and shorter. And none none of them seem to need this check. Or at least this one in the next one. So we'll go timer. P. P. Got all that sorted out. I come up here to the required fields section, and we are going to start out with we're going to try to do like on these like most important to least important. I say that even though I'm just starting to think about it. There's some sections where I have the stuff that kind of doesn't matter toward the end or toward the beginning. And we don't need uh, so, uh, All right. Distance is measured by the, or the distance is measured that sits below the case head. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead, but we're gonna put this in here because it is. We do need to have that. Pretty cool. This is our own. This is my first class of my own devising, my own machinations. You know what I mean? So we are. Why are you? Did I accidentally put you? I did. Oops. See. I gotta go back to this song here. It's coming up. It was somewhere like in the. When I looked, it was like 25 or 26 or something. It's right in there. I think it's this next song. Five. I'm about to pause, not pause the stream, but go find this song and then put this soul song on a repeat loop. Listen to it over and over again until I get sick and tired of it. I don't know about you. That's what I do. Okay, we're back in business. Nothing's at a place just yet. Uh, PH. So, okay. Bonk. Hello. How you doing? I see you. I see you over there. How you doing? What you up to? What do you know? Anything? I'm not talking to you, Skip. I'm talking to the chat. Come here. Bring me the fuzzy. Oh yeah. It's nice and soft. Here you go. Received wax right in your dog haunch. Makes him sneeze. All right. This here. It's in the right spot. Just gonna be generic. Here and enter in all the information. So I think we're gonna go cartridge. Hello there. How goes it? How you doing? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. How you doing tonight? Did you have a good week? Good week? Productive week? I don't know. Can you hear me? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, my mic is working. Let me make sure it's yeah, it's outputting and everything. Oh, okay. They're burning. Oh no. Is it my is it the colors of my thing here? Well, at least it's not light mode. What should I change it to? No, no. Oh, okay. I would imagine so. My eyes burn. My eyes burn when I do a lot of work or I'm like really really tired, you know. Which one of these need to be? We're gonna set the It'll just be count. No, my eyes burn because, well, I don't know exactly why. Not coding right now. But I mean, like, you know, I have one more day of doing like live streams, and I don't know. I just, I did 3 yesterday. I did a hacking stream, I did a coding stream, and I did a gaming stream too. Do I do freelance? No, well, for hacking, yeah. I'm a bug bounty hunter. I do bug bounty. And then most of what I'm doing on streams is prepping for certifications. Or yeah, well, there will be certifications, plural. Not for coding. This is for me. I'll end up releasing this as a, well, not very much, but because I'm retraining myself. I used to own a business. No, no, I don't want to do that. What there's like, what they hack themselves. Did you see that half-assed redaction that they did? You don't need to hack people that do stuff like that. It's that's the reason why we have the password requirements, you know, because you don't need to hack people that use password 123 as their damn password. That's not hacking. um, I hack web applications mainly. Yeah, yeah, for real. Okay, so cartridge, anneal, brand number. But this code is for me. I'm making an app that, so my problem is that I have to take all of the information that I'm doing, and and I have to, like, so I write it down in a notepad when I'm out and about, or when I'm doing the testing, and then I come in and I add it to a computer, and then I run that through a series of calculators, and I take that data and I enter it to the computer and I write it down. Then I run it through another series of calculators. That gives me graphs that I need to make decisions, and it also gives me range cards or drop tables. So this is, I'm making this app as a way to escape tutorial hell because I'm new to coding. And I am making this app so I can, instead of doing all of that, I can put it all in one place. It asks me all of the information, and this is simplistic now. As this gets more complicated, I'm going to have more of this stuff. And as, because this is what's important to me, or rather what I could think of off the top of my head without consulting my notes. But there's people that they care about other things. So anyways, I'll be able to add to it. And my hope is that I'm going to make it like a desktop or app. Yeah, thank you very much. I got it made from, oh, I can't, I don't even want to try. My what? I'm gonna have to use regular people words. I'm a new streamer. What does OC mean? Original concept? Original character? Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my first one. I had this made. My first stream was January 1st, and I had this made up on Fiverr by some PNG tuber model person. I think they do VTubers too. And I got this, and hold on, let me show you. I got I got the different eyes. I got the looking down at my screen. Got the looking up at chat. I got him, flipping out. And then what else does he do? His eyes glow. And then I did this. So this one, I haven't cut it yet in Photoshop, but I got the chair stream too. Why didn't I go for a live 2D model based on it? Well, because I wanted something just to start out with. I'm not doing streaming to like do streaming. This is like, I'm doing it because my butt is in the seat doing this anyways. And so, I figured, and I don't want to show my face. And it's not like, I mean, partly because there's crazies, not that you couldn't find me anyways or whatever. I'm sure I've leaked plenty of information already, but I didn't want to show my face. I didn't want to get a webcam. I didn't want that to be accessible. Yeah, it would be, but here's the thing. The so the I can get kind of an in between, and that's probably what I'll end up upgrading to. And so they'll take like, I'm using VideoTube. I'm using VideoTube here. And there's a program called PNG Tuber Plus. And the PNG Tuber Plus, you can have your person, whoever they are, because this is just like one thing, right? But you can have your person make like the swords and the hood and the arms and the computer and all this stuff into individual things. And then in PNG Tuber Plus, you can kind of like pseudo rig it and make it kind of like, yeah, in between. Yeah, so you can do all kinds of stuff with it. And so my plan is that at my year mark, so next year, if I'm still doing this and everything, which I probably will be. Yeah, yeah. Somebody else was asking me about that, and they didn't know. But it's really cool. So I figured I could get like an in between, because I don't want to go full VTuber, right? I just want like a placeholder for my face. It would be nice if it was more animated, so it's like a little bit more interactive with people. Yeah, yeah, you're saying. Uh, I don't know if I would do the VTubing altogether. I think like after a bit, I'd probably just break down and, get a webcam and show myself, you know. But like I said, the reason I'm streaming is not to be like a streamer or to be a PNG tuber or anything. It's to kind of share my progress, you know. I have a video. I don't think it's on my channel. It's on my YouTube. I know. I uploaded it. And it talks about all like the reason why I'm doing this. But basically I got hurt doing the stuff that I used to do. And so now I'm kind of like retraining myself into tech. And this is part of it. Part of the hacking stuff is coding. You don't need to know, or you don't need to know coding like to what I'm doing here. You just need to be able to read it and kind of know what and understand what it's doing and write some basic code. But I want to get better than that. I want to go beyond the typical scripting. I want to be able to make maybe some of my own tools with user interfaces and things like that. Oh, so if you don't want to go for, Yeah, how much does that usually run? You know? Because that's another thing too. It's going to kind of determine whether or not I end up getting upgrades and to what extent and overlays is if I can start. I would probably use this to pay for that for some. I'm not even at that point yet. I only got like a few followers or whatever on the platforms. I'm not even like I mean I'm sure they do play ads on my stuff, but I don't even qualify for getting paid for any of that yet or nothing. I've met some of the requirements, but not all. We'll get there though. So far I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I'm not necessarily keeping track, but it seems like I've only been doing this is the third week. So, it's like 1.5 people a week or something. But it's always slow at first. I used to have oh gosh, what do you call it? Like a TikTok and Instagram and a YouTube for the business that I had. And um, I would do like tutorial videos and just, random videos like with music and stuff. Yeah, that's another thing too. I really wish that I would have gotten this guy to be full body. He's just a half body dude right now. That's the only regret that I have with that. I could have gotten it. But I was like I started working with the person at in like mid-December with my plan to go live the first day of January. So I was kind of like, I don't care. I gave him a do I have it here? No, I don't have it. I gave them like a AI text to image generated thing that I put in there. I have, and I was like, make me something like this, but change it with like all the green parts that I have here. They were all red, and this, all obviously like the swords were a ton more detailed than what was here, but I didn't really care. It's a good start, I think. And they did a great job. I mean, for 7 days worth of work or whatever, I can't draw for shit. I tried, man. I tried to do like I bought a sprite and I was trying to do like a pixel art, a ninja guy. Oh my God. Yeah. 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 Maybe later on down the road. Uh, we'll see. So let me see here. I gotta read your message about the cost of the thing. So if you go for full body with full rigging, 2K. Okay. Okay. All right. That's not bad. You know, it's not bad if you're like, you're just doing, basic stuff. The thing that I would want is I would want them to have more detail. Uh, like I don't mean to pick apart this person's work at all. I mean, it's exactly what I asked for the whole time, and I had unlimited friggin' what do you call it? Like I could have said no, yes, do this more, do that more, whatever. I could have had more than what I got, but um I just wanted something simple. But it would be like more detail. You know what I'm talking about, like how that anime, you're doing it, so you know what I'm talking about. But like that style, the fabric look a little bit better. I don't know what the word is for it. This stuff have a little bit more detail. Um, I don't want I wanted basically his eyes to be like, uh, what do you call it? I wanted his eyes to just be the only thing that showed. No, I can't afford that right now. I actually have dental work coming up next month. So, and like I said, I wouldn't be interested in starting to try to do any of that until um, toward the end of the year. And the reason for that is because my plan is to get all of those um, my dental work. So I got 2 root canals uh November and December of last year, and then I'm gonna have to get crowns for those. Those are each gonna be 600 and some odd, and then I have 2 fillings to get, and those may end up being one of those, or both of those may end up being root canals, because I didn't do dental work for a long ass time. Yeah, but I got like I think like $3,500 in dental work to get done in total, like to get me up to, I'm good to go and I don't have to do stuff, just maintenance. And that's with insurance, bro. I mean, that's like yeah, that's with insurance, really good insurance too. So I don't even know when I would be able to afford anything like that. But my plan is, like I said, for around next year. So next year on January 1st, I would like to have the new model. I'd like to have a bunch of overlays, a bunch of the, what do you call those? Panels and all kinds of stuff for the thing, just to upgrade my channel a little bit, make it look more professional. I mean, just in the space, you can look at my YouTube channel where I have my videos, and just in the space of the couple weeks, I've started adding thumbnails where I wasn't before. You know, it takes me a while to kind of figure out some of this stuff. Oh no, 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 no. No, I'm gonna let the person that did that do this one if I were to mess with them. So I'd really like to, but I can't even afford that. Not at the moment. Because it's not dental work like, oh, I can put it off. Like if I don't do this, my tooth is gonna break, and then I'm gonna be in excruciating pain, or I'm gonna need like thousands of dollars, and then I'll never be able to afford anything. You know what I mean? You smelling what I'm stepping in? All right, where are we at here? So we got that cartridge. Needle, yes or no? Brand, lot number, and count. And the only thing that needs to be a number. Yeah. Yeah, I have the Discord link in my thing. Go ahead and you can head on over there. I made sure that the link worked a while ago to make sure that everything was good to go. So you should be able to go over there and add me. I have a couple people that I have to add. Why don't I head over there right now? Because there's been a couple people that have said, "Oh, I sent you a friend request and everything." Go ahead and get that on. Pending. Yeah. No, no, don't be doing no accept, accept, accept. Yeah, all of these people are people I don't know, bro. Thanks for telling me. Freaking Discord. I gave him the link. This technology, man. Hey, how's it going? Got that. I need to go back to here. I have to say hi. Okay, cool. Okay, cool deal. Yeah, no worries. Appreciate anybody coming into this stream and hanging out, chilling out, and doing all the things, you know? Like that. Green. There we go. Ooh, wow. You're all so talented. Don't mean to ignore you guys. I'm sorry. Go. Can I set like a. I really got to learn how to. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see ya. Got to learn how to use Discord some. Can I set like a status? Got that. Got that. Bring this back up. Okay. I think maybe perhaps we are here. Get a drink here. I've been a talking and a yapping, coding and a sitting. Oh, wet my whistle, man. Oh, So we have that done. I am gonna have to, it seems. My dog. Come here, beast. Bring me the stripe. Give me this. Yeah, that's nice. Best. Ooh, you itchy? Look at you. Chappy. Tell the people we'll be right back. All right, people, I'll be right back. My dog has to go to the bathroom. Just go water the shrubs. Do a chair stream for a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. The dog has watered the lawn. I watered the lawn. And then talked to my mom for a sec. She wanted to know what I was up to. And I told her, and then she had a really confused look on her face. She goes, Is there already one of those out there? I said, I don't know. I said, this is for me. Okay. He goes, her. Okay. So where did we leave off? I think that we are at the point here where we have gotten all of this and we have tested it all. Well, we have not tested this part. The only thing here that needs to be a float is the numeric field. And it doesn't need to be a float. It can be an int. And this thing, I could get complicated and have it reference another dictionary and another function, but that would be far too complicated. Let's go ahead and try this out again. No bugs. Woohoo. Okay. We have a annealed. Of course, we always do that. In case you didn't know, you should anneal your brass. You know why? Because metal, it has an, what is it called? An elasticity. It's like if you take a paper clip, right? And you bend it over back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Yeah. Okay. If you do that, it'll break. The same is true when you're running your brass through your reloading machine or whatever, your press. Brand. We're going to say, oh my gosh, I can't even remember what the brand of that thing is. I have the best brass in the entire world. Not a joke. I cannot remember what it's called though. We'll just go. By the way, Hornady has absolutely atrocious brass. Don't buy their stuff. That's one thing I didn't check. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, so that works, but we need to get these checks to do here. Control S. That's that. Let's back up and go. Control S. Okay, we're gonna go through the whole friggin' shebang. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Guys. I know it doesn't seem like very much, like nothing at all, right? but this used to be just my thoughts. Like, man, I really wish I had something that could enter all this information. And then, you know what it used to be? And then it turned into research. Yeah. And then it turned into making a plan. Yeah, here's the plan. You were there. Everybody, if you were watching me when I was doing this, yeah, you saw me make this plan. You saw me yap my way through it, talking incessantly, nerding out. And now we have a workable freaking thing. Let's go through it if our computer will let us. And we're going to do round count. What are we at round count? I think we're like about like 70 something. Optic. What is it? 0.573. Something along that line. We're at 150 profile. Point poke tail composition. We're gonna go dual. Brand. Count remaining. Charge weight. We're at 48.5 grains, and it is a ball. Chester type. I can't remember what the heck it's called, but it's like 6.5 something. Lot number. Cartridge. Yep. Again, I can't remember the name of that. It's bothering me so much. I'm going to look it up after I'm doing this. I'm just going to. Okay. We ran through all the stuff. Okay, it asked us what our brand was, what the model was, what the barrel profile, barrel length, twist, rifling direction, round count, optic brand, model, adjustment, sight height, cant angle. Then it printed off all of our stuff for us, keys and values. Tells us brand, gives us all the strings, floats. Then it asked us to enter all of our other stuff. We gave it that, put that in there. Gave us all of that in strings and floats. Asked us to enter more information. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. I'm giving myself a golf clap. Okay, on to the next section. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so the next section that we got here is the range gathered data. So this is going to be stuff that you're going to be entering in. This is your testing or your recorded data, which both equal your dope. Dope stands for data on previous engagement. This section will gather, this will be the section for all of the user data, both as a place for review for the user, but also there are key calculations or data sets that will be used in order to do the ballistic calculations. And I noted those with these. I did that throughout the whole thing with stuff that I know for a fact is going to be needed in order to do these deals. Most of them are numbers, and that was also part of doing that other stuff too. Come back here. Don't you run away from me. Right? So, and we're going to need to again accommodate um, this stuff, right? So, what is going to, like, what I need to think about this for a second because this number here, I need to mark it somehow. Okay. Numbers. This is going to be one of those weird, I I don't know exactly the best way to do it, and I don't want to use lists all the time because they take up a lot of memory and they're kind of slow too. And so I think that dictionaries would be better suited for this. So you could have keys and values, but it's weird because each one of these, right, is going to like, so your muzzle velocity, muzzle velocity. You're going to need temp, humidity, and speed. And then separate will be altitude. Can be separate. Or is that separate? Whatever. My English is the worst thing that I know how to speak. Okay. Can be separate. And that is, what didn't I include? Altitude. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I mean, there are instances where you are higher up in altitude and you're either shooting uphill or downhill, and you can cross over into different altitude ranges. However, most people in 99.9% of circumstances, even in military engagements, actually, I would say that hunting in certain regions of the world would probably be the 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 rule and the not, or you know what I'm saying, not the exception for this. I would say everything else besides that would be the exception. However, these can be separate. Don't need to add extra smart ass comments. Okay, so the altitude is mostly static. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not gonna. And then another thing too, when you change this, all of these other all of these other things are going to change, like drastically too, especially your temp and your humidity. Right, it's either going to get colder, hotter, wetter, or drier, and your wind speed is definitely going to change, and your wind direction is going to change too. So this is assuming like nearly like flat range and time of day. Be logged or not. I'm not sure. I am not sure how I want to do this because I'm trying to, what I'm like in my head, I'm trying to picture the structure of it. Yeah. Like, like we have here. Right. And I have been thinking about, before I even started doing this or whatever, asking the questions, I have been thinking like, how am I going to organize this data? You know, because it's something that needs to be iteratable over, viewed. I don't think that I'm going to get away with not doing lists for this. And the problem is with that, well, hold on. Let me look something up. Because it might be, you saved? Good. Okay. Because I'm thinking it might be a set. Set is a well-defined collection of distinct objects called elements or members grouped together as a single entity. That's exactly what the frick I'm gonna need, dude. Because it, like, all of this, it are distinct objects. You could call them elements, and they're members of this group that can be grouped. They can be grouped together as a single entity. Because again, this is like data on previous engagements. Let me pull up a thing for you guys here. You can see what I'm talking about. Even if we don't have people here watching, particularly, we might have. So I just spelled it out. Yeah, 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 yeah. So this is, no, that's not it. Data on previous engagements is like this. Is it like this? No. Basically, like you're out there, you're, you know, like for example, I go to the range that I got, I'm sitting at the bench or on the ground or wherever. I observe I observe the temp, the humidity, I know the altitude, I know the wind speed, the direction, the date, and the time of day. It's just like extra stuff, right? I know this number, or I'm gathering this number like while I'm doing this. Not always. You don't always gather this. But your temp, your humidity, your altitude, your wind speed, your wind direction, date and time, and um, additionally, I just thought about this. Range to target. Right. So all of that, when you have all of that, it gets put into it gets put into a book like this, right? And then you measure also, I forget what it's called, but you measure your right. So right. So this is where you go out there, you're aiming for your target and you're trying to hit the center, right? Obviously. And then you don't. So you say, "Oh, I missed, like I'm low and left by, a mil or a half a MOA or 1 foot or whatever the case may be for your particular instance." And then when you gather all this data, and then you know too, like, so when you start getting experienced enough, you can actually call your shots. Like, whether or not you're going to miss or not before it even hits the target. And so I think that sets, I wish that thing would go away so much. I think a set is going to be the best option for that, right? Maybe. Well, now that I'm looking at it, often represented by curly braces. Sets are a fundamental in mathematics. No repeats. Can it have mixed data types in it? Like a dictionary? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Set of counting numbers, a set of vowels, collection of fruits. Okay. So that answers my question for that. Python. Python. I'm taking this back over here. It's mine. You can't have it. You ask AI your own questions. Is an unordered collection of unique elements. Is a built-in data structure when presence of an element is important, but its order or frequency is not. And I know, like, for example, I know that this is going to have to be its own class, because this thing right here, this whole, I'm probably going to call it dope. This whole dope is going to have to be like redoable continuously. So every time that you go out and do this and you're taking this information and you're recording it, it has to be its own thing. Now you should be able to, now I want you to be able to, like, put these together. Like there will be, again, like as I go on, or when I get to the point, I'm going to be like, well, what else does this thing need? And right off the bat, I can say that I'm just going to call them sets in parentheses need to be whatever. Fucking, how do you spell that? With an A. In order to get a more accurate MV average. So sets automatically handle duplicate values, ensuring each item appears only once. No, because here's the thing, like ideally you would have like the same muzzle velocity within plus or minus 1 foot per second on your entire thing. So they do not have a defined order and cannot be accessed using an index. So we kind of don't want that. We would probably have to do no. What are these things called? What would be the best Python? Representing data on previous engagements, dictionary for the individual engagements, and a list of the dictionaries. Okay. So I'm going to have to do, I'm going to interesting. So it's going to be a dictionary. And then a list of dictionaries. So excellent for single engagements, mapping engagement details. And then ideal for collections of engagements, providing an ordered mutable sequence. Only problem is that I did not mean engagements like business bullshit. I mean, it's a different kind of business that you handle, if you know what I'm saying. But it's not so much. So I need to go, I think, and I need to get some of my data or just make up some data for this stuff. And I need to create some of this stuff to because this they need to be either 1, 2 in number, and this needs to one shot all. You got your coding right up front. Now we got to work through this too. Because it has to be combinable. So that better be a freaking word. Combinable? That doesn't mean like throw away, do it? What else does it say? Data structures for analysis. Because that is true. I might take a look at because I was thinking about a list of dictionaries. Okay, where are you at? So you started over. I'm going to turn that off, and I am going to do We're going to do background music numero dos, just for a change. That's for my brain. Come here. So it's talking about small scripts, small data, list and dict is quick and easy. Data analysis and manipulation. Panda's data frame is indispensable. I'm going to look that up. Oh, man. Okay, data frame. Two-dimensional, the size is mutable, potentially heterogeneous. I know both of those words separately, but I don't know them together. What that mean? Huh? I would have got that wrong. I was like thinking hetero, like, like it means. Uh, whatever. Fucking scientists. All right. Rows and columns. Okay. So then we would probably do think I like that pandas bullshit. We'll keep looking at it. Index, column, copy. This is saying use NumPy. I would have to take a tutorial on this before because this is like I don't even know the basics of this. It's like it's all fucking Chinese to me. Um, I mean, I know like that that you're using this like I was using this stuff. I get that part, but I don't like this. I haven't worked with this at all. I wouldn't know how to like what to use even. I would like meaning I don't even know what the right question is to ask Google to pick with. Some of these I can kind of get the gist of it just from the name. Keys. I think for this particular instance that I would be far better off using NumPy because this seems like it's more of arranging data in columns and rows, and which is useful, and I will eventually be using this for the range cards and the like, but I think would be better if I did NumPy. I'm going to look at NumPy next. That's good to know, though, too. That's one of the things that I have to look at. Offers comprehensive mathematical functions, random number generators, linear algebra routines for your transforms. Ah, ah, sons of bitches. If I was the president of the United States, I'd have you all flogged. Cocksuckers. Where's dark mode? Yeah, I'll contribute. Can I leave a message? I should. All right, we're getting off of here. I ain't dealing with that bullshit. Singe my eyeballs out of my head. Okay. Key restrictions. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't care if it's that. I just know. I'm looking at this thing. It says that the restrictions for putting lists in dictionaries is that they can't, they can be values, but they can't be keys because the keys, because the lists are mutable and dictionary keys must be immutable, such as strings, integers, floats, booleans, and tuples. So that's what we need. We're going to do, we're going to have like dictionaries with, we're going to either have dictionaries with the individual engagements being, or sorry, we're going to have like a dictionary, right? Pardon me. And we're going to have like each one of these be MV, excuse me, again, MV, and then we're going to have the key be a list, and then we're going to go temp. And then that's also going to be a list. I think they'll all be lists. All of these will be lists, right? And then the class that we make, right? And then right. So each of these, each element will be a key value pair, going key list, and then we'll have a list of we'll have a list of I'm pseudo coding this, or whatever the heck you call that crap. Kind of just trying to get a sense of it in my head because my brain is a scattered, right? So all of that information, right? Because this is a list of data values. You should be collecting all of these. And eventually, like, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a working basic model of all of this. And then we're going to have to come back and figure out a way to make these to where you can either select or deselect the information. Like, so the user can say, I don't like, I'm just collecting muzzle velocities. I don't want to collect temp or humidity, because a lot of people don't do that. They just go out there and they get this. And that's mostly due to their, what do you call it? Like their sort of like education level or knowledge level on the topic. And they don't know that this stuff affects this, and that this stuff up here affects that too. A lot of people don't know that. And again, the thing is, you have, right, just to cover things, right? Right. And then you could even say, and then whatever we have, like nukes, right? So with this, that's to yourself and less than or equal to most people, like 7, but in reality, just say 50. right? This is your right, and this is less than or equal to, just say 700. So, bad guys. Probably about to here, right? So, this is kind of how I look at these individual systems, right? So, this is personal self defense, right? Stops bad guys trying to one on one you or how many ever number, whatever, as long as you got the seeds for it, so to speak. Right. But that's what this is for. That's what people carry that for most of the time. That's why cops carry what they carry. They also carry these, right? Because sometimes you need more range, sometimes you need more power, whatever. And this is less than or equal to 700 yards. So this is pretty much the capability of your average thing that people are carrying around. This is pretty much the capability of the best one of these that you can get. But this is the level that we're talking about right now. Right. And this is like within reason. You know, you're not talking about a target that's not moving, sitting there, you know, that's like 5 foot by 5 foot or whatever. You know, you can reasonably hit bad guy size things at that distance with some systems. Right? Not all, not the things we've been talking about, but I'm just talking about in general. Right? Your bombs for your military purposes, your computer, you can shut down nations with that. It is also and then this ends the world. This is kind of like the order of operations, yeah? You start there and you go to the end. Most of us have access to these three and this one. The rest of this, that's for a nation, and that's for, jerks. But regardless, um, oh yeah, save that. Anyway, just to get sidetracked. But I think that that's kind of what I'm gonna have to do. Is I'm gonna have, and this is gonna be like, this is what I'm thinking with that. Because then we're gonna take numpy, it seems like, and we're gonna be doing the calculations for this. And this is all gonna be within the same class, right? going to be doing this. And like a lot of this stuff, and keys and MVs, the lists, the values be combinable into a massive list of dicks in order to get more accurate average. And take the list and be told you there was going to be more stuff. And especially as I get to this new part here, that like I said, that was the simple part is this. This is even kind of even more, this is simple too. It's not more simple than what we just did, but it's a little bit more simpler than when we're going to have to do all this frickin' ballistic calculator garbage. Even this calculator garbage. And I might legit, like, I don't want to take any more frickin' tutorials, but I have to get a sense of what the frick these things are. I mean, I've heard of them, I've seen a little bit of them used or whatever, but I don't. What's your problem? No. Dude, you forget the colon. Frickin' robot. Alright, don't you be giving me no red squiggle horse shit no more now. Yeah, we know. Okay. Just gonna leave that like that. Why don't I just fill the rest of this out? Just for shits and giggles. Oh, you're confusing me. Force each one of these. That's that. Nice. Getting a better idea of this. Okay. What do y'all think? Going good? Is going smooth? It's going as good as you thought? I think it's going pretty good. It's just these, like I said, I haven't used this stuff in any manner except for in tutorials, and this is like all my own. I mean, like, there's probably stuff out in the world that already does this. There's frickin' gotta be. There's no way in hell that I have thought of something unique, especially in regards to this. You know, I mean, for the love of God, they're putting this stuff into scopes now, so anyway. So it's going to dynamically go through all of this information, ask the user to input all of this information. Maybe they don't want some of this stuff, so they can, if they decide they don't want it, make it, you know, go away. And then it stores all of this information into a single dictionary that can be stored into a list of dictionaries. So all this information can be accessed, iterated over, combined, or whatever needs to be done. And then it needs to be have data done, data calculated on the calculable stuff. And then for each one too. So like if you want the whole thing, right? All of your stuff over everything, which gives you the most accurate, like average, for example. You need to be able to do that. And then you also need to be able to uh, also need to be able to something. My brain's starting not to work. I've been tired all day. I woke up tired. I get these headaches and these muscle spasms, and they last all day, and then I get to a point where I can sleep, and then my body is so fatigued from being in that state. That's why I was tired today. Oh, and my I had to stand guard over my chickens for a few hours because the we had 3 of them get killed yesterday, or died, or whatever. Like they got, you know, taken off by some wild animal. Um, so I had to go and stand out there for a couple hours. Otherwise, I would have done this in the morning. I was actually doing it in place of my, or not in place of, I was doing it while I was working out. So I was going in and I was doing like my sets. Then I was coming back out and I was observing chicken behavior and trying to listen for birds in the woods and see if they were alerting, and neighbor dogs and neighbor chickens, and hear if I heard any kind of stuff going off when I was out there. And I didn't see anything, but I would not suspect that that would be the case tomorrow. And after that, um, before I got on here, because I knew I was going to need to do it, I had to wait for my keyboard, my new keyboard, to get in. And then I changed all the switches out of it to a better one, or better ones. So I have 3 of them now. I have all my mechanical keyboards are Red Dragons. I'm not like, I'm not into spending a couple $100 on a keyboard, although I'm sure it would be nice. But I got the little 552 or 558. I tell you, that thing's a beast. Like it's a tough keyboard. Like seriously, it looks like, I mean, you could conk somebody over the head with that thing and then plug it in and use it. You know, it's pretty robust. Um, but it types really, really loud. Even though it has silent switches in it, it types really loud. And I got that, and I liked it so much that I decided to buy another Red Dragon, and I got the UCal Pro, which is a very sturdy, amazing keyboard. I actually, if you want to buy a keyboard and buy it once, I would highly suggest that one. Well, I don't know how long it's going to last. I've only had it for like 5 months or something like that. But and I'm not rough on my stuff either. I'm pretty careful. I don't huck it or do anything weird with it, and I don't spill crumbs or sodas or nothing on there either. Um, Unlike some of you, I know you're like that. Uh, but I'm not anyway, and it's really good. I don't really care for the switches that are in it. They're like a tad too loud, like just a tad. So I got another Red Dragon. I ordered another one. So the UCal Pro is like $60, $70. And I just didn't want to spend $60 or $70 on another keyboard. So I got a like $40 one. And it is the K738. They call it a Barricade Pro. I don't know. They have a bunch of dumb names for their stuff. Anyways, I got it because the price was right. The switches in it, they said they were silent linears, and it had relatively the same layout as the UCal Pro, which is the K673. And so I got that, and I got it because I wanted it to be slightly different than my other one so I could tell them apart, so I'm not grabbing the same damn keyboard every time. And I also got it because I use the UCal Pro for my hacking box, and I was using the Logitech keyboard for my um, what do you call it? This Windows PC that I'm streaming on. It is. I'm telling you guys, it was hurting my hands like crazy. Like I was typing on it when I was doing all this, like this first initial thing, and my like my hands, like my fingers, my pinky and my ring finger, my middle finger, they stopped working because I just the keys are sticky. They don't press down good. I don't know. Maybe my hands all jacked up. Probably the case. Either way, so I got one that was similar in layout. I wanted to make sure that the keys were hot swappable so I could get different switches. And I wanted to make sure that I could remap the keys because uh, one of the things I really dislike, you see me do, like when I was like here, and then I have the end button so I can go to the end, and I do that. Really helps out when I'm programming. Anyways, so I got this keyboard, this K738, and I got some Akko Silent Penguins, and they're really nice. They take a little bit more to press than the UCal Pro, which I kind of don't like a little bit, but I do like a little bit of the feedback that it's given. Yeah. And it's definitely like, I mean, you guys can't hear that except when I'm like breathing in the mic or like, I think that when the mic's going off, you're hearing like the boom. You're hearing the boom from the, what do you call it? Like when I'm hitting the desk or whatever, you know. So if I do this, yeah. So you're just hearing like sometimes when I hit the desk. Either way, it's a really good keyboard. I like the switches a lot. Um, I would get the other ones. Let me see, show you here. So they have the Akko mechanical switches. Show you what I got. Ooh. So I got. Where are you at? Yep. Rosewood. Huh. Fuck do you spell penguin? I doubt that's how you spell penguin. I know there's an I. Penguin. Just type it in it. Akko. Penguin. There you go. I got these ones, and they are silent. But if you see, there's a, oh, these guys sell them in frickin' more pieces than, I had to buy 2 boxes of 45. Caps. Give me them specs, bro. Here. Like, there's a, I think it's this operating force thing. But that's a little higher than, yeah. But they're really good. So I got these switches and I put them in a, I put them in a dragon. Just go to, here, make sure Amazon doesn't have any kind of stuff on it. Like, ship to this location, really, if you want. Yeah. Glad I did that with Amazon. What a bunch of jerks. Anyways, this is the one that I got. And it came with these pre-lubed switches, and they call them RPC switches. And they sound like really, really, I don't know what the word is, like thocky. Let me see. Hey, leave me alone, bro. Might come back and check out their stuff. Um, filter and sort. They're tactile. And, oh, that's why. So they're tactile switches. They, so the ones that I got, they sounded like crunchy, like a creamy crunchy thing. They're a little bit louder than, I think I already went over this the first stream, but they're a little bit louder uh than the ones that I had. So here's the K cow. Oh, it won't even pick it up. I don't even know if you can hear that or not. But that's that one. And then the other ones that I got, they were like a little bit, if you did hear that, they were a little bit louder. But I would suggest, if you like, because I couldn't stand, I had a frickin' uh, I just had like one of these things. Uh, yeah, like one of these, right? The regular one. And then, um, like, it was so loud that I couldn't concentrate while I was typing. It was frickin' annoying. And so I got this same one, but I got the silent touch one. And I tell you, that keyboard, it is more silent than all of these mechanical keyboards. Like, orders of magnitude. You can barely even hear the thing. And it's amazing. However, just like this one, my keys started to stick. And it's not like, again, I don't spill things and get crumbs in my keyboard or anything like that. But it's like straight up, like the keys just get sticky. And you know, when you're sitting there and you're like coding, right? Because I was doing this and I was going through a bunch of tutorials, and you're coding, and then you get right there and you're typing, and then your stuff just starts going like this across the screen. You're like, no, come back, right? It was just a pain in the butt. And so at the time, my grandma's like, I need a keyboard. So I gave her the Logitech one that was sticking, and she doesn't even care. She's like, I don't even notice what you're talking about. Like, it's fine. I'm like, fine, you can keep this. You can keep the fucking thing. I don't care. Anyway, so that's what I had, and it just didn't work out for me. Either annoyed me, the key stuck, you know, and I figured these mechanical keyboards, one of the great things about them is that you can replace all the stuff, even the case, even the little board that the key switches fit into. You can replace all of that. You can modify them. You can do all kinds of stuff. So I figured it would be a good investment with me typing, and especially with me having the disability that I do with my hands will straight up lose function sometimes. It's really weird. I mean, like, you know, and I say that like coming from someone who pretty much my whole entire life I have been very physically adept. I don't mean I don't mean shapely or whatever, but but I do mean, like, you know, like I had in a very amazing amount of dexterity and control over my body, and you know what I could do with it. Um, and you know, now it's not like that, and it's not like getting old either. You know, even though I am older, probably ancient to a lot of use, but still. Anyway, I don't want to ramble here and rant or rave or any of that nonsense. I'm glad. I think I'm going to get off here. Yeah. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to say my goodbyes. And then tomorrow at 11, I might push that back a little bit. Because again, I'm going to be watching out for my chickens. Make sure they don't get ate. We lost $1,200 worth of chicken um, in one day. So if we could not have that happen again, that would be great. So I'm going to, hopefully at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be on, and we're going to do another Trihackamy stream. And I might end up getting on here and doing another dev stream or not. I don't want to push too hard with streaming, you know. Again, like I was telling the chatter here, I didn't start my stream to be a streamer. I started my streams because my butt is in the seat anyways. It didn't take me but like a little bit to learn enough of this to get it working at least. And I think that doing this is going to help people. You know, like I had a comment on one of my videos already, and help me spread words of encouragement to people, or help people learn, or, you know, and myself too. I'm selfish a bit, only a tad, if so, if only a little bit. But regardless, that's why I started it. I don't really care about being famous or upgrading my dude just yet or doing any kind of crazy nonsense. Not at least right now. Right now, I think getting in here and knocking this stuff out and learning and growing and getting better and documenting the process, you know, maybe a year or two from now, we'll look back at all of the progress I've made, and Maybe I'll amaze myself or some of you at how far I've come. And if you guys join me, it'll be how far we've come. So, yeah, there's a reason to anyway. So if you like this kind of stuff, you guys are enjoying what I'm doing and you want to come hang out, that's great. I'm sorry if I don't always look at the chat or, you think I ignore you. I'm not. I'm just like focused on the screen, and I'm new. So cut me some slack. I'll be with you. I'll talk with you. I don't mind it at all. I enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to do another Try Hack Me stream. And I think we're going to continue along on the junior penetration tester path. And we're going to be doing the in-map rooms and maybe some protocols. I don't know how long it's going to take us. I always say, it's going to be easy. We're going to be able to get through this whole module in, the 3-hour block that I have set aside. And then it ends up, taking me 3 hours just to do like one section or two sections of it. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, y'all have a great night. I look forward to seeing you later on down the road. Don't hesitate to stop by, say hello. I enjoy it. So, hope you all have a great night, good Friday, a good weekend, if I don't see you. All right. Bye-bye.